Welcome to week 4 of the VGC Casters Cup Season 2. I'm Jake, the captain of the 5-move Volcaronas. We're here for our 4th battle of the season. We're currently 2-1, hoping to get up to 3-1 for a nice little head start on the season. This week we're going to be playing Rosemary Kelly in the Shoutcasting Sylveons, one of my good friends, another NA VGC caster. We have some great times together on the broadcast, but now we are going up against each other to see which of us is going to win week number 4. Really excited about this. You can see her team over there on the right. I think it's one of the more top-heavy teams I've seen so far. Like, Raging Bolt, Moltres, Ninetales is very, very strong. Rillaboom, obviously, is a really strong core of 4. Then after that, I think it falls off a little bit. So I think she's probably going to be relying on most of those 4 Pokemon. I would be surprised if at least 3 of them didn't come. I think probably all 4. But we'll see. We're here to talk about my team first. It's going to be, first up, Blastoise. Actually, first of all, if you followed along last week, you will see that it is 5 of the same 6 Pokemon that I ran against Lee in week 3. Blastoise is the exception. I've got the Blastoise over the Dragonite this time around. I love Dragonite, but unfortunately, Raging Bolt and Ninetales are both very, very good into it, and so didn't think it was the best bring here. Instead, I'm opting for a very offensive Blastoise. You can see the Choice Scarf there. I'm Terra Grass defensively because the 2 priority attacks that she has super effective into Blastoise, the Grassy Glide and the Thunderclap, are both resisted by grass. So that works out very well. But I am Choice Scarf with a very offensive moveset, in particular Water Spout. One thing I also noticed about Rose's team is that it's on the slower end. Her fastest Pokemon is the Ninetales. It's at least 109, which isn't slow by any means, but for that to be your cap is a little bit on the lower side. Choice Scarf Blastoise outspeeds everything. And also underspeeds my Chien-Pao, which will be important once we get to that. I would just keep that little speed interaction in mind. So I thought, if I get Choice Scarf Water Spots going, could be a nice way to get some big damage up front. I think the rest of the moveset kind of just fell into place. Like Ice Beam hits Raging Bolt and Rillaboom, which resists the Water Spout super effectively, which is nice. Muddy Water is another water type option if I'm not at full HP or if I've lost a little bit of HP and Water Spout's damage isn't going to be good enough anymore. And then last move, I thought about Icy Wind for a little bit of speed control. Again, the Choice Scarf Icy Wind will let Blastoise outspeed all of Rose's Pokemon unless they're holding a Choice Scarf. And then I could get some Icy Wind off to maybe give the Arcanine a little bit of a speed advantage. I opted for a Flash Cannon. Now I'm like talking through it in my head again. Icy Wind will be really good with Arcanine, because at -1, everything on her team is undersped by the Arcanine. I'm thinking about changing it like right here, right now, live. I'm going to leave it. It's going to be Flash Cannon. It's a way to hit Ninetales. It's some consistent... No, I'm changing it. We're going to change it. Screw it. We're going to do it right here on the recording. Where's Icy Wind? I think it said there. Remember, I'm gonna switch it to Icy Wind because it gives me an extra form of speed control. My Gengar does have Icy Wind as well, but having Blastoise with it as well is gonna be nice. I really don't think Flash Cannon is gonna be necessary if Blastoise is like my only option against Ninetales. I'm guessing one of the water moves can be like enough to finish off the game. So we're doing Icy Wind, a life change right here on the recording. Just some extra speed control. Again, Blastoise is fastest. It will get those Icy Winds off first. And if I don't need much damage out from it later on in a game, Icy Wind is there. Next option is Arcanine. I'm using Choice Band again. It's the same moveset as last week against Lee. I would switch to Terra Grass. Just really good defensive option here against something like Gliscor or Sandy Shocks, both of the ground types that pretty heavily threaten Arcanine. And it's also still very good into Rillaboom. The only other change I made was Rockhead. I went with Rockhead this time. There aren't too many physical attackers on Rose's team that I can be intimidating effectively. Gliscor often runs Hypercutter, so it will be immune to Intimidate because it can't lower the attack of a Pokemon with Hypercutter. And then Rillaboom. Intimidate's great against Rillaboom, but I think Arcanine does so well against Rillaboom already that I didn't necessarily see the need for Intimidate. And Rockhead will give me some huge damage with Head Smash without the recoil, which could be really important. Something like Raging Bolt might get 1-hit KO'd by Head Smash, especially with Sword of Ruin. Gliscor, obviously Ninetales and Moltres both would be. And now that I do have 2 Icy Winds, I think Head Smash is going to be an attack I'm probably using a lot. So I really liked the option of Rockhead here because I just didn't feel the need for Intimidate. Jumping down to Chien-Pao. I went with the Focus Sash set again. I went with Terra Stellar. There is the fake out with Rillaboom, but so Ghost was still a little bit tempting, but I also didn't really want to make Chien-Pao weak to the Moltres with the Terra Ghost. So I opted for Stellar. It'll give me a nice boost on Ice Spinner and Sucker Punch, which are my 2 attacking moves. I also have Rain Dance on Chien-Pao. So this is for 2 reasons. One, like I mentioned, or alluded to earlier rather, Blastoise Wild Choice Scarf, I trained it to still be slower than my Chien-Pao. So it's if you're counting like the speed order, Ninetales hits a certain speed stat at max speed, Blastoise is 1 higher, Chien-Pao is 1 higher than that. So I'm not wasting speed on like max speed Chien-Pao, is just not necessary. So I just made it I made it so that Chien-Pao, then Blastoise, then Ninetales will be the speed order if all goes as planned. And with that, I can use Rain Dance before Blastoise attacks to get an extra powerful Water Spout. I think that could be a really cool option against Rose's team. Rain Dance is also really useful against Ninetales in general, because if she leads, or if she has Ninetales out at the same time as my Chien-Pao, I can Rain Dance to prevent her from setting up Aurora Veil. If she does get Aurora Veil up, I might struggle a little bit with getting enough damage out into her team. So I considered Taunt, but I realized you could combine Rain Dance with the Blastoise, and so Rain Dance made a lot more sense. Yeah, that's about it for Chien-Pao. Nothing else going on here. Let's jump down to Gengar. So this is now the 3rd choice item on the team. I've got Scarf Band and Specs on this team, which is very explosive. I have the ability to do a lot of damage all at once, but if it doesn't work out well, or if it doesn't net a KO, I could be in a little bit of trouble, because these 3 Pokemon can't switch their moves, they're very inflexible, and they're also not the bulkiest, especially without the Intimidate on the Arcanine. So if I'm locking into attacks with those 3 Pokemon, I need to be getting KOs, and Gengar should be very good at that. Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball are really good neutral coverage. Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam is very good into Rose's team. I removed the Dark type weakness from the Moltres. I'm hitting, the same type attack bonus, super effective damage into Raging Bolt and Moltres. So spread damage is always nice. I still have the Icy Wind as well. Again, Gengar is 1.0. Actually, I might have speed tied myself with the Chien-Pao and Gengar. It's fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. I might adjust that before the battle starts. We'll see. But Gengar being max speed is 1 point faster than Ninetales, so we'll be able to outspeed everything on her team without any kind of speed control. Down to the Farigiraf. Farigiraf is here mostly to support Hariyama. Hariyama, I think, is also very good against her team. It hits pretty much everything. Well, we'll talk about Hariyama in a second. I wanted Trick Room. I wanted Farigiraf to be able to set up Trick Room on this team. I'm with the Citrus Berry this time around. There's not a lot on her team that can win a KO Farigiraf. I trained it to survive a Choice Specs Fiery Wrath from the Moltres without using my Terastallization. And so I figured that was a good way to keep it a little bit healthier. I did go with Armor Tail this time around. There's a lot more priority. There's the Thunderclap from Raging Bolt, the Fake Out Grassy Glide from Rillaboom. And even though, again, I was tempted to go with the Sap Sipper to mess with the Rillaboom, I thought Armor Tail was too important here. Especially because, again, I do have those very fast, very frail choice item users, and I want to be able to support them as best I can. I went with Psychic, just really good neutral damage. And then I have Terra Blast, which is Farigiraf and Pokemon like Porygon 2 are very good users of Terra Blast, because they do have the stab on it before you Terastallize, being normal types. And I am Terra Fairy, which is very good against, again, the Raging Bolt and the Moltres. So if I do Terastallize, I get the super effective damage into them as well. But if I don't Terastallize, Terra Blast is not a useless move. It still will do some decent damage. So I thought that was a good choice here. Oops. And then Helping Hand, I think, is especially good on this team, because oftentimes you'll have like Farigiraf and then maybe a couple other supportive Pokemon alongside your heavy hitters. All 5 Pokemon on this team, other than Farigiraf, are very powerful. There's probably very rare cases where Helping Hand won't be useful, right? So if I have Farigiraf next to Blastoise or Arcanine or Gengar, I get Helping Hand with a choice item. Hariyama is very strong. Chien-Pao is very strong with Sword of Ruin, so Helping Hand will go a long way here. And then, of course, Trick Room to help give me some speed advantages with the Hariyama. If she doesn't bring Slowbro, Hariyama is incredible. If she does bring Slowbro, it's still good, but I just have to worry about when I set up Trick Room. Finally, Hariyama. In the Assault Vest, again, Raging Bolt and Ninetales and Moltres. Assault Vest is very good into all those special attackers. I went with Terra Steel. again, the types of Pokemon that she has, some can have a hard time hitting Steel types. In particular, the Ninetales and the Slowbro are often quite bad into Steel type Pokemon. And so I thought this was a really good defensive Terastallization for me. Because I also am running Sheer Force. So we've now covered all 3 of Hariyama's abilities. I think I've used Thick, Fat, and Guts already this season, so that's kind of fun. And then the last 3 weeks even. So maybe not last 3, whatever. I want to say I've used all 3 so far. So that's kind of fun. Sheer Force was kind of a combination of, well, the other 2 aren't useful and also has some cool applications. So one of the first things I thought of with Sheer Force is that if you attack Moltres or Galarian Moltres with a Sheer Force boosted attack and it goes below half HP, it won't activate Berserk. So it won't get the special attack boost. Why this happens has to do with the way that Sheer Force attacks are coded. It's the same thing with Sheer Force attacks and Moringa Berry and Key Berry. I know Rose will know this because I was talking to Stefan one time. He was using Moringa Berry Garganackle at a regional, and he said the only reason it was bad into Landorus is you can't get the special defense boost from its Earth Power because it's got the Sheer Force as well. So she's going to know that interaction, but I just think it's kind of useful, honestly. If I'm in Trick Room and I Ice Punch the Moltres Scowler, and it probably goes below half, but doesn't want it KO if I had to guess, I'm not going to give it the special attack boost, which is actually pretty useful. Steel combos very well with Iron Head. It's going to be boosted by Sheer Force. I don't have the flinch chance, but it gets a lot of extra damage, and Steel is a really good attacking type in routine as well, especially considering some of the typical defensive Terras on Raging Bolt, for example, is Fairy. If it does Terastallize, I'll have the super effective damage there. Because I am Sheer Force, you can't run Fake Out. It will boost the power of Fake Out, but remove the flinch chance. So don't want to do that, and I'm going to run with Bullet Punch instead. Still some nice priority, synergizes well with the Terra Steel. And unfortunately, there's not a good fighting type attack that is boosted by Sheer Force. Dynamic Punch is, but I'm not running a 50 accuracy attack, so I just went with Close Combat for solid damage there. I might mess around with the Gengar, Blastoise, Chien-Pao speeds, like I mentioned. I want to make sure I'm not speed tagging myself in any kind of way. But otherwise, this is going to be my team into Rose. This is week 4, and we're both looking to... we're hitting the halfway point of the season here, so if we get a win here, it'll set us up well for some momentum into the last few weeks. Let's see what happens. All right, battle time. I did go in and fix the speeds, so now it is in order. Chien-Pao, Blastoise, Gengar. They're all right in order. We're all right above Ninetales, so we're all good there. I'm glad I caught that. Yeah, we'll see what Rose brings. It's going to be... Again, I think it's probably going to be Raging Bolt, Ninetales, Moltres, Rillaboom +2. I would be thrilled if one of those didn't come, because I think those are her 4 strongest Pokemon. I do think Sandy Shocks is probably pretty good into my team as well, especially the booster speed set. There's not really anything I could have done to outspeed that if it does that set, so that will be faster than all my Pokemon. But if she brings that, then my Trick Room mode is pretty good too, so... I think we're set up pretty well here. Just gonna come down to executing some game plans, but doesn't it always? We're about to trade our Terra types. Again, quick reminder, closed team sheet, open Terra types, so we're gonna know each of the Terra types of our 6 Pokemon, of each other's 6 Pokemon, but not attacks, held items, and abilities. Just a fun way to get some... I think a draft format like this is much better when that's the case, because you get to pull out some more fun techs like Sheer Force Hariyama with no Fake Out. Alright, we have traded Terras. We're about to jump in. See how we go. Alright, I will save her Terra types for after we pop up on the screen. But I do see what Pokemon she's brought. And there is one of those 4 that I mentioned missing. So, alright. Looks like she locked in. Okay, cool. Ninetales, Sandy Shocks, Raging Bolt, Slowbro, Rillaboom, Coughing. So there's no Moltres, which makes Gengar a lot better. I'm actually pretty happy to see that. Her Terra types are Ghost Ninetales, Ghost Sandy Shocks, Steel Raging Bolt, Water Slowbro, Fire Rillaboom, Dark Coughing. So I do think my Trick Room is really good here, especially with the Steel-type Hariyama. If I do get that up, then I don't know if she has a whole lot to like really start taking attacks from it very well. Especially with the Terra type she's gone for. She has the Steel on Raging Bolt, but if she does go for Steel, obviously I can just close combat it. The like Chanpao Blastoise angle I was kind of hoping for, I don't think is as strong here, but I do think Gengar is very good here. So I'm going to lead the Gengar. I almost want to go Gengar for Rigoroth. This gives me a good way to get into Trick Room. If she does lead the Sandy Shocks, and it is the booster speed set, decent chance she just kind of Earth powers the Gengar, and then it just goes away, and that's fine. Because then I get switched to Hariyama. Last Pokemon, I think I'm going to do Chanpao. It can operate pretty well in Trick Room just because it has Sucker Punch. And outside of Trick Room, it's going to be really fast as well. So we're going to lock this in. Going to be Gengar, Frigoraph, Hariyama, Chanpao, and I'm going to hopefully get some mileage out of the Trick Room mode with Hariyama here. I'm a little surprised to see no Moltres because it is just really good into Frigoraph, but that not seeing it just makes Frigoraph even better. We already see right away it is going to be the booster energy on Sandy Shocks. Looks like it's going to be speed. Okay, so it is booster speed. It's not the end of the world. If she does go straight for Earth Power, I'm just fine with Gengar going down. I don't, maybe like Raging Bolt gets a Roar or something, I kind of doubt it. But if it does, then we'll just go to game 2, I suppose. I'm going to go for Dazzling Gleam in case she doesn't attack the Gengar. Get some good damage onto both these Pokemon, and I'm just going to set up Trick Room immediately. Curious to see what she goes for here. I don't know all the support options Sandy Shocks has. Like if it's got Taunt, that could be bad, but I don't think it does. Full Protects, that's fine with me. Let's see what Shocks goes for. Substitute, ooh! It's kind of cool. Very glad I went straight for an attack here, because that means it is just going to break its Substitute right away. And I don't get kind of caught out by the sub. This is fine. The Gengar being sandwiched between the two means Gengar will attack before the Sandy Shocks next turn. And I will get Trick Room set up here. What I might want to do, though, is swap right into Hariyama in the Gengar slot. I could try and save the Gengar for when Trick Room expires. There's a decent chance she goes into the Slowbro right now, because she has seen the Dazzling Gleam. The only thing is I don't necessarily want Hariyama to take a bunch of damage on the switch. But with the Assault Vest, and with what I expect to be maybe a more defensive turn from her, I think this is probably okay. So I'm going to switch Gengar into Hariyama. And then I'm going to Psychic something. I think probably the Raging Bolt, just to get some damage on it. Doesn't swap out the Bolt. That's fine. I do get Hariyama in. She protect the Shocks. Oh, she Terras. Okay, Terra right away. It is a Raging Bolt, so the Psychic's going to be resisted, but I get some super effective close combat here, which could be really important. The Steel Terra makes sense, of course. It's resisting the Dazzling Gleam. She might think I am like Mincemeat Gengar or something, and so she needed to Terra to not take that super effectively. Draco does come through though. Not going to KO Frigoraph, and I do get to eat my Citrus Berry. I might get to see if this is Life Orb Raging Bolt. That was a lot of damage, but I'm not sure if that was enough to make me... Yeah, okay, so it wasn't Life Orb. That's fine. It's not Life Orb, it's not Booster Energy. Maybe it's Magnet or something? I'm not sure. Very okay with this though, because now I can immediately just close combat the Raging Bolt. I am like max attack, adamant, and pretty sure it's just gonna KO. If it doesn't, we might be in some trouble. And I can break the substitute of the Sandy Shocks with Psychic here, so this feels like a pretty straightforward turn. If I did, like, I could try and punish the Raging Bolt Protect, but if Raging Bolt protects and I double the Sandy Shocks, Hariyama will attack first and break the substitute, and then Frigoraph will get a Psychic off, which almost certainly won't when it KO the Sandy Shocks from where it is. Frigoraph's not that strong. I think Sandy Shocks is at least somewhat bulky. We'll see. She does just withdraw, so I'm gonna get damage off here. It's probably the Slowbro. That's coughing. Okay. Neutralizing gas comes through. It's not a big deal right now. Close combat for nothing, which is not amazing, but not horrible. And I will get to use Psychic here to break the substitute. I'm guessing she didn't bring the Slowbro to this game, and I feel like it almost definitely comes. Or it almost definitely switches in there if she has it. See what it goes for. Thunderbolt. Yeah. I did lower my special defense with the close combat, but thankfully it still does less than half here. I did remove, or she did remove Sheer Force with the neutralizing gas. I think she's been playing very boldly with the Sandy Shocks. I think there's a chance she attacks with it again, but I think I would rather get damage into the coughing, because how many Trick Room turns are left? 2 more. Yeah, I think I'd rather go straight for like Iron Head and Psychic into coughing, just to try and get rid of that, because the not having abilities can be really difficult, and this Sandy Shocks is now in a pretty vulnerable spot, so my guess is that she swaps it out. Or protects it, that's fine too. If I can get her to swap the Shocks out, that means Gengar and Chien-Pao will outspeed it, which could be really nice. Flamethrower, yeah, so I did consider going for the Terra Steel. I'm glad I didn't, because that would have been super effective. Iron Head does almost nothing, and Psychic, maybe it gets the knockout here? Great, that's awesome. Nice turn there. Good to know she has Flamethrower. I mean, the Terra Steel on Hariyama is really good for me. Certainly wouldn't have been in that position anyway. I was never going to Terra Steel against the Sandy Shocks. I'm glad if she has Will-O-Wisp, I'm glad she didn't go for it. She has really no way of knowing that I am Sheer Force, unless she happens to catch that interaction with the Berserk. Oh no, but Moltres didn't even come. Yeah, so she can't know. Obviously I'm not Flame War, but that doesn't mean I'm not Guts. Assault Vest sets often run Guts anyway. So now what I think I'm gonna do? What should I do here? I want to knock out this Sandy Shocks. What can she have in the back? The Ninetales, the Rillaboom, or Slowbro. So I'm gonna go straight for close combat into Sandy Shocks. And I don't really know what to do with Frigoraph here. I think I'm just gonna attack the Raging Bolt. Get some more chip damage in if I can, to make it more likely to be knocked out by something else. Bolt does protect. Hopefully she doesn't get a double here. That's a little annoying that she is able to get that double protect, but it's not the end of the world. I did consider swapping something out, like swapping into Chien-Pao, for example, just to try to like take advantage of something like this. I don't think this is that bad though. I can still close combat the Raging Bolt. It like forces her to respect the Hariyama. And I'm gonna Psychic the Sandy Shocks, I think. Just to prevent her from getting a substitute up. She does go for Thunderbolt into Frigoraph. Luckily it doesn't KO. We'll see what Bolt does. Oh, she misses Draco Meteor. Well, trading the Hariyama for the Sandy Shocks, I guess. Barely doesn't knock out, but that is fine, because I did get this big close combat off. Does KO this Raging Bolt, so a little bit of luck back and forth there, getting the double protect into the Draco miss. The double protect is much more likely than the Draco Meteor miss, like the 1 in 3 versus 1 in 10, so I definitely got the favorable end of that, but I will take it. There's no friendship on the battlefield, unfortunately. Rillaboom comes out. So what I think I want to do here is swap out Frigoraph into Gengar. I'm okay revealing Bullet Punch here just to confirm the Sandy Shocks gets knocked out. I'm trying to think of the best way to guarantee this game, and it's probably going to be having Chien-Pao and Frigoraph on the field together, so she can't attack with Sandy Shocks and also Grassy Glide to knock out the Chien-Pao. But if I get this Bullet Punch off and she doesn't either fake out the Hariyama or Grassy Glide it, or protect the Shocks, then that's fine. I am revealing I have Bullet Punch, but I think it's worth it to make sure I win this game. I'd rather reveal it and not need it but still win than not reveal it and lose. So Bullet Punch comes through. We'll be able to KO Sandy Shocks, thankfully. It's going to be down to a 4v1 here. There's actually a pretty good chance I don't even have to reveal my 4th Pokemon. Wood Hammer into Gengar. Oh, that just KOs. Wow. So she's going to take a ton of recoil here. I still send... No, do I send in Farigiraf? No, now I just play for the differential, I guess. Or the Pokemon KO count. I could have sent in Farigiraf, and there was maybe a world where I could have knocked out Rillaboom before I had to reveal my Chien-Pao. But I'm not going to risk that. I'm just going to swap Hariyama into Farigiraf here, block any potential Grassy Glides, and make sure I win this 3-0 instead of 2-0. Because in case those tiebreakers matter down the line, the Pokemon KO count is one of the tiebreakers. So we're going to block a Grassy Glide, potentially, but no Grassy Glide coming through anyway. So I guess that's nice. She doesn't reveal, or I don't reveal rather, that I am Armor Tail. I've used Sap Sipper twice into Rillaboom. It's very possible that I could have done it again. So I didn't have to show her that I am actually Armor Tail. So that's good. We do take game 1 against Rose in the Sylveons. Again, got a little bit lucky with that Draco Meteor miss. Obviously, it's never something you want to see, especially when you're playing a friend, but I'll take it. I'll take it, especially with that Double Protect. I will not be complaining about that. Game number 2. So we know Shocks has Substitute, Protect, Thunderbolt. We didn't see its 4th attack. Would be very surprised if it wasn't Earth Power, but there's always a chance it's not. The Raging Bolt, I think we've only seen the Draco Meteor and Protect. It's not Life Orb, it's not Booster Energy. My best guess is Magnet, the electric type attack boosting item. But we may not ever find that out. Could even be like Covert Cloak. I do have the Fake Out on Hariyama. Well, I do have the Hariyama, which can learn Fake Out. I do not have it. It's also good I didn't reveal my 4th attack. She doesn't know I have Ice Punch, which could come in handy against like Rillaboom and Sandy Shocks here. I want to be a little bit more prepared for the Sandy Shocks lead this time, especially now that I know it has the Speed Boost for Energy and the Substitute. So I think I'm going to lead the Chien-Pao. And I think Arcanine is actually really good here. If I lead Chien-Pao Arcanine, I'm essentially like forced to either tear the Arcanine or swap it out immediately if Sandy Shocks is led, which I don't think is that bad. So I'm just gonna go straight for it. I really want to bring Blastoise, but it like doesn't work well here. So I'm just gonna bring the Trick Room out again before I time out. It worked out pretty well for me. Farigiraf was really solid. Just the damage I was able to get with Psychic. The ability to set up Trick Room is really good. Oh, I love her profile picture there. I bet that's Stefan. That's cool. Slowbro Ninetales this time, so I maybe get to show off my Rain Dance tech here. I have to think about whether or not I'm okay dropping the power of Flare Blitz. I think I'm gonna lock into Head Smash here, so it's probably fine. I don't know if I'll need Flare Blitz for the next few turns, so I'm just gonna go for it. Why not? We're gonna Rain Dance with Chien-Pao, turn off the snow, remove the ability to set up Aurora Veil, just go straight for Head Smash into this Slowbro. I believe with Sword of Ruin, unless it's like super bulky and bold, or like a defense boosting nature, this probably KOs if it hits, but it does have to hit, so we'll see. I'm really hoping she goes for Aurora Veil here, otherwise this Rain Dance deck will be for nothing. I'm happy to see Slowbro here because that means it's not in the back, or obviously it means it's not in the back. It means I know exactly where it is. And if I'm able to knock it out here, I will be able to, like Hariyama is a lot less scared of it. She has immediately Terrestrialize it as well, probably trying to get around some Dark type damage. It's a Charo Water. Fortunately for her, that's not going to save her from the Head Smash. I do get the Rain Dance off though, so there is no snow until Ninetales swaps out and back in. It tried to use Aurora Veil and it failed. Let's go! Head Smash does connect. It doesn't KO. That's unfortunate. Okay, that's fine though. Iron Defense is really cool. It's probably Body Press. This is a This actually would have been a really good tech for this matchup for her. Unfortunately, that turn just went incredibly well for me. With Iron Defense, it's probably got Recover if I had to guess, which is a little bit scary. I kind of want to rock or head smash it again. Trying to think whether or not Ice Spinner. I think Ice Spinner will KO it. I think there's a chance. Well, because of Sword of Ruin, it probably. I'm gonna double it with Ice Spinner and Head Smash. I can't let. Oh shoot. I mean that makes sense. I really can't let this Slowbro get a recover off. That would be pretty bad. This was kind of a careless play on my end. It's gonna let her get an attack off with Ninetales here. Yeah. Maybe the Moonblast into Chin-Pao. So, not the end of the world. Let me think. I think I want to save the Chin-Pao here. I'm going to swap to... If I had Sacred Sword, that would be totally fine. I don't think Ice Spinner will KO Slowbro, and I don't... Well, okay, if she is Recover, that'll mean she has Body Press, Iron Defense, Protect, and Recover, so it's only Body Press. I don't think... I want to say I don't think that's the case, but I can't be too sure. This is tough. I want to save Chan-Pao for like a Sucker Punch into Impossible Shocks later. I'm just going to swap Thrigraph in and Head Smash the Slowbro. I don't want to let it get a Recover off, or even like a Body Press into the Arcanine. I'm again relying on Head Smash hitting here. Yeah, another Moonblast. Thrigraph, that's fine. And we connect. Alright. So Slowbro goes down, thankfully. I maybe could have played those last couple turns a little bit more carefully. I did rely on Head Smash connecting with Slowbro. I thought about, like, Sucker Punch probably still would have KO'd it, but if she did go for Recover or Iron Defense, that would have been really bad. I'm probably overthinking Recover. In all reality, it's probably another attack, but I wasn't willing to risk that. Raging Bolt comes in. Now, I think I just go straight for Head Smash into Bolt again, and I'm going to Helping Hand. I don't think this Ninetales can really do much. Because we've seen Moonblast, we know it has Aurora Veil. It's probably got an Ice move. I really don't think it has anything to touch this Arcanine. And I am Max Jolly, so I'm going to be attacking before Raging Bolt. And I think without the Sword of Ruin or Helping Hand, Head Smash might come close but not knock it out, or maybe even be a damage roll. With Helping Hand, it almost certainly does KO. So let's see here. Yeah, she does have Blizzard. Makes sense. Hopefully no freezes. Alright, we connect the Head Smash. Great. So we got her down to our last two Pokemon. That's really good here. Depending on what it is, I think it might be time to swap out Arcanine. Chin-Pao might be more expendable now because she can't get the snow back up. I'm not going to go too far before I see it. It is Rillaboom. Okay. How many turns of rain are left? This is the last turn of rain. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna go for it again. She can't fake out. Blizzard again in the rain, it's not very accurate. Arcanine dodges, love that. If one is gonna dodge and not the other, I'd much rather Arcanine be the one that dodges. I believe Rillaboom and Arcanine are the same base speed, but I am Max Jolly, so at worst this is a speed tie. Helping Hand Head Smash is able to do the job again, so this might be a 4KO Arcanine game. And I am connecting all these, that's very fortunate. It is, I think, a 80% chance to connect. She just messaged me, 5 for 5 head smashes is diabolical, and she is not wrong. I was in the middle of saying, I am quite fortunate to be landing all of these head smashes. I'm obviously not going to complain about it. I think I did get the better end of the luck in this battle, or across both of these battles. I missed one. You cursed it. Deserved. Type her right back. You cursed me. Because I do want to play for that differential, like I kind of mentioned here, I'm going to swap into Hariyama. I know even if I miss the next head smash, I can KO with Bullet Plunge. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot left to say. I certainly got a little bit fortunate, but I also think I had really good game plans. I think that like the Rain Dance in particular really set her behind. I think that the turns like 2 or 3 of this game were maybe not like the most clean, but I like somewhat panicked about the slow bro, and then after that was gone, I think I played it out pretty well. So good games, Rosemary. Very glad that Rain Dance tech on Chan Pao panned out. But that was a fun set. Happy to move on to 3-1. We're 3-1 after week 4. Very happy with that. There are 7 weeks of the regular season, but there are only 6 battles, so I'll have 1 bye week. I forget if it's 5 or 6. It might be coming up next week. But I am 3-1. I think if I win more, I will likely guarantee my spot in the playoffs, which is great. But happy to be 3-1. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next battle.